You don't like beauty. He doesn't like beauty. But what was beautiful, Sage Northcutt's heel hook on, what's his name?
Ahmed Mujtaba.
The Wolverine. Looks like Khamzat Chimaev's schizophrenic brother. Big old beard, good strong guy. Super Sage. He comes out how many times?
Sage is like a 77 world
Something
time karate
crazy.
champion. Like
Karate master as a young man. He was fought in the UFC a couple times. Super big hype train. Sage Northcutt had some fights in the UFC and he just left. Like,
he was gone.
Unheard of.
I think he
manner.
did. I think he was in ONE FC briefly,
He
but
got
he
knocked
was
out.
gone for 4 years.
He came.
4 years.
He left the UFC, went to ONE FC, got destroyed, really brutally, and disappeared for a couple years.
He got dropped very quickly.
Immediately.
Yeah. So it was almost a worst case scenario
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
And he pulled off the heel hook from the bottom, from his back.
Which was like shocking. I had no idea he knew jiu-jitsu. Like it makes sense, but like never would have guessed.
He'd been working on jiu-jitsu.
And even then, this is like an incredible finish, but his technique is like very far from perfect. Like I think he was able to finish because his legs are crazy, right? Like the opposite of mine. And he has that crazy squeeze and he had an awesome grip. I think just squeeze and grip, he was able to pull off the heel hook.
Yeah, and all those years of karate, you'll develop that leg dexterity very quickly.
He even threw a kick. He had it, and instead of like reaping like this leg, kick this one. And I don't know, maybe it's like enough momentum.
Or if it was, he might have been gaining momentum or just flailing a little bit. But,
he flailed. He flailed, and if his feet were in better position, I don't know if he would have had like a better result, but like for us trying to recreate what he did, like don't do it like him. We'll show you
I see
how it could look.
Ahmed Mujtaba, there were some things that he could have done to escape that position as well. He
had lots of opportunity.
Yeah, he would have had he known, he could have escaped that, and maybe he would have been able to continue what he had already started with that first knockdown.
So they go down, and they're very quickly in half guard. He briefly goes butter half, which is our preferred entry into Ashi.
But he doesn't go knee in. He has his knee. He's in the butter half, but his knee is like way out the way he does it.
And then he loses it. He's in half guard. The deep overhook and shallow underhook. And his opponent goes to stand. And so it's a very quick grab. And he's up. Doing a great job of keeping his hips up and his legs together. So his feet are far from perfect. We would want them here on the hip, but he's a little messy. So he's over here. He does a kick and a pinch. His legs are passed for a reap. He grabs a gable grip. Keeps rolling. His feet aren't perfect. We'd want them two on the hip or possibly splayed. But he's so good at pinching with hips in the right position and a good gable grip. He creates enough power.
In the fight, you can see that Ahmed, at some points, he's concentrating on this leg or trying to get through this leg, but he's neglecting this most important leg in the heel hook. So what he should be doing right away is getting this leg off of his hip, which frees his hip and it gives him some more motion. And all through this sequence, there are many points where Sage's foot is on the hip and he could be taking it off and moving all the way. Any of these points here, even when they roll through, it's possible if he gets some pressure off the hip, he might be able to have some movement. So he neglected the feet on the hips quite a bit throughout that sequence.
Getting feet off the hips is the escape of leg locks.
Yes. And that was my analysis from my couch. So yes.
Listen to this, man. So here's one way we can drill this. The bottom guy needs to get his feet to hips, and top guy's gonna practice getting feet off the hips. So I'll do it offensively well once, and then he'll do it defensively well. And this is kind of what it should look like. So if we're down in half guard, a more perfect situation would be this leg is in. This is very easy to go to ashi if your opponent starts standing up like Mujtaba did. Very easy. Foot comes around to the hip, and even if he stands all the way up, we raise our hips, keep our butt off the floor, and we pinch. Then if we want to reap, we switch this foot to the hip and thread this through, and here we're pinching our thighs. This puts his momentum this way. We keep everything tight and follow all the way to double outside ashi with 2 feet on the hip, or splayed for power. So Sage almost had him in butter half. This is our preferred leg locking position. If our opponent stands up here, it's very easy to grab. Put your foot on the hip, knee on the foot, with your hips up and legs pinched. Now if we want to reap, we can put this foot on the hip and thread this one through while pinching our thighs. And with just that, it's enough to get the momentum going, get him to roll. We find toes in the armpit, a gable grip, feet on the hip, double outside ashi heel hook.
Ahmed, the Wolverine Mujtaba, at this point here, but he's got to get this foot off the hip. Once the foot is off the hip, he can step out of this position, but he's got to get this foot off. This foot on the hip is like heel hook 101. It's the simplest thing, but sometimes it's the hardest thing to remember when you're learning it. But this is the heel hook. Like if he has no foot across the hip or on the hip, he's gonna have a very difficult time applying that pressure. This is a little bit worse.
Yeah, what you gotta do now, man?
Push down.
Yep. Just like that.